Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well throughout the week. Quick update on my recovery. It's going very good. I'm basically beating the timelines as I should. I should be able to be back into full uniform, maybe still not this week, but hopefully the next. However, I'll actually be traveling quite a bit for business next week and the week after, so my recording will be a little bit more difficult. But I'll try to come up with an idea to keep pumping some updates. Even maybe I can record from wherever I am, but most likely without the mask. So I hope you guys can live with that. But yeah, it's going to be a bit back-to-back business, and we are entering some interesting periods. So I would like to keep in touch. By the way, guys, if you do enjoy the content, please drop that like and subscribe. So thank you very much for your support. We have quite the video to go through, so let's go quickly. Stocks keep performing very well. We have a bit of sell-offs here and there, and obviously people like Garrett Soloway start calling tops in Nvidia and all of the stocks and predicting the end of the world. Unfortunately, you know how it is. It's going to be like this until those people eventually flip bullish, and once they flip bullish, that's actually going to be the top signal. As soon as they become bullish and you guys are looking for tops, that's the best example you can get. Inflation has stabilized, came a little bit hot, nothing really special, 0.1% up. I think we're going to stay within those ranges for for some more time period. And what's going to be funny is, in my opinion, what's going to bring us into the 2% handle mark will be the lower interest rates, because it will lower the cost of financing for corporates, which means they won't need to pass it on to consumers. And actually that will have a deflationary impact. Once again, money printing does not create inflation. What creates inflation is handing out money to people for them to spend directly. Lower interest rates doesn't create inflation. It just creates, well, I guess it creates asset price inflation, if you will, but not the typical CPI that everybody is waiting for. So I actually think we're going to start seeing the 2% handle mark soon, particularly as soon as they start after they cut rates for the first time. A quick update on my lottery tickets. So Brett and Andy are not doing that well, but Wolf and Pulspot are actually doing very well. So that's the point of lottery tickets. If I lose a little bit, but if I win bigger. So far the gains far outpace the paper losses, if you will. And I'm still waiting on Pikamoon and Pulse launch. Both of them to launch. One of them is now been announced, 19 March, which is Pulse launch. So excited for that one. And the other one will be Pikamoon. We should know sometime this week, but should come out around the same time frame. Now, when it comes to Pulse Chain and pHEX, it seems that we've created a floor. We are still not moving, with the same level of ferocity that everybody is quietly waiting for. However, I do believe that the big pumps are coming. And by the way, if you guys have paid attention to the Sacrifice wallet, it has deployed most of the Sacrifice funds into Ethereum, which means that if Ethereum goes to 10, 11, 15K, you're talking about the Sacrifice wallets having 1.5 billion, 2 billion of net profit to buy its own shares, to buy its own coins if need be, which, well, basically that would entail that if nobody sold, that would basically lead into a 120x on the price, which of course would be great. So in that sense, I do foresee some bright future still on those retirement coins. Very curious to see how high they can go. In any case, I do think we're still on pace so far in terms of pricing for a super cycle. Will that happen? to be seen. Is it possible? Damn sure it's possible. Is it becoming more likely? Yes, it's becoming more likely. My cautiousness still urges me to put some water, some cold water on this, to don't get carried away too much. But however, if I'm to be honest, I just need to say what's happening right now, and indeed we are on pace for a super cycle. Now, there was some controversy because basically Richard Hart has heavily suggested that X on Ethereum is now at a loss 2x on Pulse Chain, and then you have a big, massive sell-off on X on Ethereum, which caused all sorts of drama within the community. And to be honest, this is the reason actually that I prefer Pulse Chain and pHEX, and that's why the majority of my bags are in those two coins, because it's to some degree free of all this drama. Now, I've always heard about the arguments in favor of X on Ethereum, and don't get me wrong, I have both of them. So I have X on Ethereum, I have X on Pulse Chain. So it's my vested interest that both of them do very well. But this concept that somehow X on Ethereum was going to outperform everything else. So then the question bears whether why was Pulse Chain created then? Because Pulse Chain was created to help solve the Ethereum gas fees, which everybody is now experiencing how bad those fees really are. And we are not even in the full-fledged bull market. Now, there are conversations about an update that is coming that should solve the gas fees or should help improve the gas fees. To be seen. It's a level of uncertainty. If there is something that the market hates, is called uncertainty. Not even, sometimes it's good to know if something is good or bad, but the problem is when you don't know, it can be much worse than actually knowing that something is bad. And so to me, every time that I heard the explanations, I was always, okay, but Pulse Chain was created to help pHEX, which was getting brutalized by Ethereum gas fees. And Pulse Chain would alleviate those fees, but it would give you a copy of pHEX in a better, cheaper, faster chain. And somehow a better, faster, cheaper chain with the same code, same X, same everything, was gonna underperform the X on Ethereum, which had the issues that led to the fork and Pulse Chain in the first place. So to me, it never made any sense. Now, can X on Ethereum pump? Can X on Ethereum do well? Sure it can. Of course it can. But Richard is not picking X on Ethereum or X on Pulse Chain. He's just stating something which is obvious. He said, gas fees on Ethereum are crazy. Fact. Pulse Chain was created to solve or to help solve the gas fees on Ethereum. Also true. Everybody knows it. Ever since it was announced, that was the purpose. Okay. We all got copies of our X on Pulse Chain for free. Yes, also check. The sacrifice wallets have been buying all sorts of Richard Hart tokens except X on Ethereum. Okay. X on Ethereum as Bank X waiting on the sidelines to sell. X on Pulse Chain does not. So, and then he says, okay, the ratio between eHEX, so X on Ethereum, and pHEX, and pHEX, sorry, X on Pulse Chain, has been tilted in favor of pHEX for a long time. So what I said was, okay, it seems that the market is deciding on pHEX over eHEX. And then everybody loses their minds. Like, okay, he just described what happened. That's it. We still got the copies on Pulse Chain. So, I like Pulse Chain, I like pHEX, particularly pHEX, and the reason for it is that freaking buy and burn is completely crazy and beautiful in my view. But to me, of course, I was fortunate enough to be here for the Pulse Chain fork. That means that I get both X's. That means I get both eDrones. That means I get both ICOSAs. That means that I get the ERC20 and the PRC20 tokens, right? So meaning the tokens on both Ethereum and Pulse chain. But for new users who are coming, I mean, how many people can really spend $100 on a swap as a fee? I mean, I thought we were supposed to be in crypto for efficiency, not to pay exorbitant commissions. Now, kudos to Ethereum because they still dominate in terms of volume, and they charge these fees, and their activity doesn't go down. So why should they rush into solving gas fees if people seemingly are very happy to pay them? But you need to understand that when you're onboarding new people, like when people are coming into the ecosystem, it's much easier for them to get exposure to X, paying a penny, than getting exposure to X, paying $1,000 to end stakes, or to pay $100 for a swap. So to me, that was always very obvious, and I never understood this obsession with X on Ethereum, which, by the way, I wanted to succeed. I wanted to do well. But the reason why we created the Pulse chain ecosystem was to basically get around some of the deficiencies that Ethereum was posing to the project. That's it. There's no big secret. Maybe the idea shouldn't be, people are saying, maybe we should have called it X migration instead of X copy. Yeah, but that defeats the purpose of crypto now, doesn't it? Because Richard allowed the market to decide which X they preferred. They preferred X on Pulse chain. And then the only thing that he said was, yeah, you have one X, you have another X. One pays pennies, one pays hundreds of dollars in fees. I guess the public likes the one on the Pulse chain better. That's all he did. He just said it out loud. And it was good to see that Pulse chain and pHEX held up quite good. But we had this little drama, and this is my take on it. So I'm not anti anything. I'm not anti-X. I'm not anti-eHEX. I'm not anti-whatever. I prefer Pulse chain and pHEX, namely because they're Cycle 1 coins. I love the buy and burn on pHEX, and they're somewhat, to some degree, free from all this drama, and it's an easier pitch to people. Faster, cheaper Ethereum, got it. Better tokenomics, Uniswap. Okay, got it. Easy to get. X, very innovative product, a very important product, very amazing product, in my opinion. Harder to pitch to people. Also, I think we should be, honest, and that's the reality. And I mean, I don't consider myself a part of, Xicon influencers or Pulsicon influencers. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I really don't care. I do think it's the best ecosystem. I think it will do very well. My personal opinion, maybe I'm completely wrong. We'll see. But I'm not here for these fights and these, tribalisms. As I mentioned, in my view, not only the Pulse chain or Richard Heart ecosystem should do well for our sake, but also other crypto ecosystems should do well. Like, I don't understand sometimes this bashing of Ethereum and Bitcoin. I want them to do well. I hope they do well. I like that the XRP win the court cases. I like that the Coinbase wins the court cases. I like that the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust wins the court cases, because that's helpful for the entire community. I like that Pepe goes up. I like that even meme coins have their time to shine, I think that's part of having a vibrant ecosystem on the crypto side, rather than my tribe needs to destroy not only do we need to win, but we need to destroy all the other tribes in the path to winning. That I'm not very in favor. It's just my 2 cents, my personal opinion. In any case, look, we should start seeing some good old fireworks popping up as we approach the halving. I think the halving, we are about 35 days away. I do still think it's going to be a sell the news event. In the past, we sold 38, 2012, 39%, 2016, 38%, 2020. Will we sell off the same degree? To be seen. Maybe we sell the same, but we recover faster, coming from the demand from the ETFs. we'll see. It's anybody's guess. I do still think it's going to be a substantial sell the rumor, sell the news event. We'll see, but keep track on those days to come. And once again, you see, this is why I look into 2025 so step number 1, after second half 2024, start to look for what could be top signals. 2025 is my goal. Ignore the noise and the turbulence throughout the journey. That is my feeling. And with that, guys, thank you very much for your support, and I will catch you in the next one.